What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. I'm doing ABC Cyber Dragon again. I'm actually going to be doing a huge guide because I don't think most people play this deck, or at least very much so. They do not play the deck like I do. So what I'm going to do today for this video is the original build I had. When Union was out was Dragoon. So it was like a lot of people asked me during my videos, is Dragoon still playable in the deck? And yeah, it absolutely is. I do give the edge to Phoenix Enforcer for sure because of the draw 2 effect. It's just kind of too good, and it comes back pretty easily. But nonetheless, you can use it. If a Union card was eroded to equip machine monsters, it's a different conversation in my opinion, because it all depends on your hand and stuff. So if there's different ways to add photon to your hand, I mean, it changes the whole dynamic of the deck, obviously. But I'm going to be going over some replays, and this is the best example. And the thing is that Dragoon certainly does shine every once in a while. It's actually not too bad. In this match specifically against Virtual World, I think it outplays Phoenix Enforcer by a country mile. This is a pretty good hand. I think this isn't full combo, unfortunately, because there's only 2 pieces in the graveyard. Like I said, if Union was out, then this changes because everything is searchable, making it much better. But in any case, see, normally this would be a pop and a negate, but now I'm getting 2 Omni negates, which is 90% of the time better, pretty much. He's going to activate Qinglong. Good for you. He's going to attempt to activate the Lili. I'm just going to go ahead and hit that with Ash so that if he had anything else, I had literally the 2 other cards in his hand I had negates for. So, there's nothing he can do. He would have been able to activate those kinds of cards, if it was DPE. Not that DPE would have been bad here necessarily, but obviously, this is just a body that's way harder to get around. And that's where, triple attacks also, comes up, 100%, making it much better. But obviously, if you've watched ABC Cyber Dragons, you know that while you probably want to go first, just in any deck in Yu-Gi-Oh!, it certainly has no issues at all, breaking boards. That's what Cyber Dragons do. Some people only play Cyber Dragons going second, but silly. He knew I was playing Cyber Dragon at this point, and he leaves us in the main monster zone. So I had an out, through the core, which is kind of cool. But I didn't want to banish it because I'm going to search Cyber Repair Plan, of course. It's cool because this was this is a searchable card. There's only 1 copy in my deck. But I did open it, and, it can still be very good. Now, this is also where Dragoon, is, objectively better than DP, right? Because normally I would, transfer all of these into, because this is actually a machine monster, if you can believe it, into a Chimeratech Fortress Dragon to clear his board. But think about Dragoon, it's the end of the game. DPE isn't really a game-ending card. It's a control-type card, meaning that I'm going to turn this into an... I already know the cards he has in hand. He added them both. So, my plays are free. Discard hurts. I can go into an Infinity, search the other soldier. And then once I go into Dragoon, I'm popping for 3,300 damage. So, this card's already easy to get rid of because it's a light machine monster, Cyber Dragons. But other than that, it's a big body. You're going to burn somebody for 3,300 damage if it's in your hand, which obviously is just very, very good. There we go. And then I think he ends up quitting here, but sure. There we go. That's Virtual World. So it looked pretty good there. We'll go over everything else. Nothing too crazy, I don't think. I played a lot of ABC last night, and maybe this is where my deck shines a little bit. It definitely is better than an objectively better, or that's probably not true, but it's almost always going to be better than regular ABC because of Cyber Dragons. They're all light machines, so I just naturally have an insane advantage. Rampage is just an extender. I can just turn those into a Dragoon. Again, objectively better because just having a DPE compared to having this. Now, it's a little crummy because I have an Imperm and an Ash, meaning that I have to give up one of these for the DP. Or not for the DP, excuse me, for the Dragoon. So, it's kinda, but it's this is still... Would you rather have a non-targeted, non-destruction Omni Negate, or keep both Ash and Imperm? I think the choice is pretty clear, at least to me. So I'm going to pop his Gamma. I'm not going to pop this because I don't want to keep his other, Gammas online. This is get banished, so it's gone forever now. I'm pretty sure if you just, like, Omni Negates are really good. It's also, like, this, again, like I talked about how good this card is. This is so specifically good because if this was DP and I pop this, it would go to the face-up Pendulum Zone. And, Pendulum Summoning can't Pendulum Summon from the graveyard. So that makes a big, big difference. And I think he just surrendered there. This is the build that I'm going to play in real life, by the way, because DP is really expensive. Although I may end up buying it because I do think it's a little bit better. In these replays, I'm telling you, like, there's only 3 bricks in the deck, right? Which is Red Eyes Black Dragon, Dark Magician, and Red Eyes Fusion. I think I open it maybe 60% of the time, like one of those cards. It's so annoying. So in game 1, I went first and he super polyed me. Lo and behold, a guy has like a 55 card deck or whatever, and he opens it again. But knowing that, I can just play around it. You can play around, super poly pretty easy, which is kind of nice. Well, there's a couple ways to play. If you go full combo and you have Dragoon, ABC Cyber Dragon, Infinity, I mean to say. What am I thinking of? So Dragoon, ABC Dragon Buster, that's what I was thinking of, and Cyber Dragon Infinity. If you use Infinity's effect to take the Predaplant running Anaconda, there's no super poly targets unless they normal summon like a Dark Monster or something like that. But otherwise, this is the route that I would take, and this is what I did. So I'm going to add both. Anytime you open up Galaxy Soldiers, like, RIP in peace, because this is full combo. I'm going to discard the other copy. This is an Infinity, so there we go. And I like this combo especially because once this bounces, this can be turned into something else. But I'm obviously going to negate the Fusion Destiny. There's no targets here. And this is just where, like, this deck just shines, man. This deck is this is where this deck really showcases how good it can be. So I don't have DPE, right, which normally would have been a pretty decent target to go into because you could pop a bunch of back row, but all right, first ABC Dragon Buster. Boom. Tag those out. Next, go into a Nightmare Unicorn. Shuffle that back. And then a Cosmic Cyclone for the rest of it. So it's like boom, 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 boom. So much interaction during your turn. I love that replay. It was cool, man. It was really cool. This is I think this is Endymion, and man, I just bust this board. So, lots of consistency cards there. Of course, you kind of have to. And they're all spell cards, too. So, I love this deck. I played it one time. I wish it would let me. There we go. I don't have any Eruption, but I do have the triple tack, which could come in handy. It depends on what he's got on the board. He's probably going to have something in the extra monster zone. I was hoping it would be an Appaloosa, because I would just get rid of one of his negates, but I don't think he goes into it. So, we'll see what he ends up doing here. Spellbook of Knowledge. He's just drawing like a bunch of cards, There we go. He's got a decent setup here in the Wake. Instant Fusion is probably going to facilitate some synchro plays, perhaps. A big synchro or a big Pendulum Summon for 4. That's really good, of course. Celine's going to bring back the Endymion. He's going to turn those, into the Odd Eyes Vortex, which is going to bring something back. It ends up being this. I don't know why he didn't go into an Appaloosa here. That was kind of confusing to me. I feel like that was definitely something he could have done. And then he changes that into an IP Masquerena. So he's got an Omni Negate, he's got a Monster Negate, and then he's got an IP here in the Wake. He doesn't use IP, but I think you'll see why here in just a moment. All right, so we'll go ahead and in-perm get rid of his Omni Negate, which is a big, big thing because now I can play around a whole bunch of stuff. Mega Fleet, then I can go to the battle phase, get over his Endymion. Then I can take control of the Mystical Beast. So if he tries to use IP Masquerade, of course, I'm just going to negate that. And then once I get rid of this, however that may be, I, of course, am just going to, I'm just going to take it. So I don't have to worry about it. And I'll turn these into Predaplant Verdian Anaconda. And yeah, this is a level 5. It's stupid. So, I'm just going to take this. Yeah, there we go. And then those are going to get turned into Predaplant Verdian Anaconda. I'm going to turn that into Dragoon. Pendulums can't do anything with one card, so oh man, that was sick. And I kind of do it again, although I don't think his board is as good as it was the last time. This is obviously game 2. Spellbook of Knowledge, Prophecy, which is kind of cool. Chronograph Sorcerer is going to freely special summon the Time Gazer, which is, obviously quite good. Allure of Darkness, he does have to get rid of his Mythical King Beast. we'll see what he gets. I'm actually not a huge fan of Pot of Desires in this, or Allure of Darkness. It sounds good and like, but you're just getting rid of a lot of stuff, and you need a lot of stuff to go, combo through. Vortex comes back. I'm pretty sure he's gonna bring back like the spell book or something like that. That's gonna help him get Servant of the Endymion, which is gonna bring out another negate from the deck. And I'm surprised he doesn't go into a Mythical King Jackal, because monster effects are obviously much more common than spell and traps, but what are you going to do? Again, he doesn't turn this into an Appaloosa. Like, I don't know why. I'm just going to get rid of that, go into the battle phase again. So, basically, let's see. Only thing I have to deal with now is this Omni Negate and a spell and trap negate. So we'll see what ends up happening here. I'm gonna normal summon there. I was hoping he would negate so I could chain, but okay. If he's not gonna do anything, then I'm just gonna search out the kaiju. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. And then he loses connection. I could have connected Union, even if he negated that. Like, that's fine. Worst case scenario, he negates that. I pop his whole board and he has no follow up. Like, that's just, you're not gonna be able to do anything, of course. So I kind of just checkmated him there. Again, breaking boards. You can't wait too long because you have a searchable kaiju, which like no other deck has access to, pretty much. Buster Blader. Although this is like a weird version of Buster Blader in my opinion. He like hard makes the synchro. This is a bit of a weird hand. It's well, it's actually not so bad. Unauthorized reactivation is always pretty good. Just gonna special summon that, turn that into ABC. This is Dragoon. So again, I think this is like, again, where this deck is a little bit better, because having 2 pops is cool, but having an Omni Negate can make all the difference in the world, of course. He dumped the bricks out of the deck too, which is always nice. Fortunately, these bricks do not do anything like draw 2 cards. That's a very good effect. Okay, he's playing weird cards like Witch's Strike and DNA Surgery. It's like your combo like puts you there already, you know what I mean? So I'm going to switch those out. I'll probably go into a Nightmare Unicorn. The Nightmare Unicorn will then switch into an Access Code Talker. So I'm popping 2 of his back row, which is kind of cool. And then I have a negate for the last card because the other cards on his field don't do anything. So I'm going to pop that. It's the Witch's Strike, sure. And then I'm going to, burn his board here. So there usually isn't a next turn. Like when you're going second and Dragoon hits the board, there probably isn't going to be follow-up for your opponent. And even if he tried to activate he doesn't have discard, so I mean, even if he did try to activate it, of course I'm going to negate the effect of like Fusion Summon. This is like budget Sword Soul, really fun duel against this guy, good stuff. This is an Ash bait. This is an Ash Magnet right here. That's all I care about. Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of had to draw 2 cards. I'm going to say maybe I should have looked at his hand, but that's all right. His hand's pretty good. I mean, Pot of Desires. He's got Shifter. He's got a Play Starter. This isn't the best one. The Shinthana. I don't know how to say this one. The Water Tenyi. I think everybody calls it that. 2 Omni Negates are coming down once again. And I'm pretty sure when he activates Pot of Desires, I'm just going to negate it. The top deck of Heavenly Dragon Circle, it's just too much, man. That's not fair. Of course, I'm going to negate that. I'm going to negate that too. So he's going to have to get something really good off the top. We'll see what it is. Even though he already normal summoned, so it's going to have to be like Long Yuan plus a worm. If it's not that, I think his plays are done, which is kind of cool. This is a Brave Token deck. A Tenyi Brave Token, perhaps? Oh, it's like interesting. Brave Token Sword Soul. Alright, so I'm just going to try to negate that so he doesn't have the Omni Negate, but, I get hit with Cross-Out Designator. My hand is gasoline, so I'm not, like, too worried about it. Like, even if he ashes the core, I still have the Machine Duplication, and I top deck Cyber Repair Plant, too, which is just even better. So I can go ahead and search out a Galaxy Soldier, and then I can, discard that, special summon here. That's going to give me another piece. And actually, at some point in the combo, I'm going to bring back the Hurts, which I can use with Machine Duplication. Because otherwise, if I didn't open Cyber Repair Plan, I would have normal summoned the Hurts. That probably would have been my play. It probably would have been my only play. But because I top decked it, I had basically the wherewithal to know that the guy was going to, negate that, meaning like my plays were good to go. So I'm going to bring back the core, special summon 2 Cyber Dragon from the deck. That's so sick. And then I can go ahead and go into Overload Fusion. Don't have to go into Dragoon this time. I'm going to pop that, send a couple of pieces to the graveyard as follow-up, quote-unquote, but there is no next play. It's going to attack directly. This card is so good. It's silly. Same match here. No hand traps necessarily. Well, what I'm going to end up doing is just holding this infinite impermanence for his Brave token. And honestly, from what I've seen from the Brave token package, it ain't all that great, in my opinion. I feel like you just have to run a lot of bricks. Alright, so he's going to use Crossout Designator, which is kind of crummy, a little unfortunate, but I'm going to go ahead and activate Union Hanger. He gets debated. LOL. RIP in peace. So I'm just going to activate Dragoon. Again, I don't know if this would have been enough. Well, I guess, in theory, in fairness to the way I regularly play the deck, I would have had Fusion Destiny after I made my plays. So, what are you going to do? I did end up looking at his hand with triple attack because there's nothing really I needed else to do with my hand. He's going to add this Griffin Rider to hand. Like, cool for you, cool for you. It doesn't really mean anything to me. So that was the end of the game. Here we go. Here's some like ABC duels. That is not my ABC deck, I don't believe. See, the thing, like the whole basis of this deck is that the pieces by themselves don't do anything. So when you're opening up multiple pieces, like, cool. Like, I'd rather open up core. I think that's a much more beneficial play. So that's why I think this deck is just a little bit better. But to open up Cyber Dragon plus Repair Plan is like borderline unfair. He did end up having Joel and Lockbird, which is kind of unfortunate, but I don't think. Yeah, that's tough. Literally, the only card he could have in hand that could kind of break this would be, a B in hand, which he did. Although he may have searched it earlier. I'm pretty sure he did, actually. But at least I delayed him one turn. I do negate the Union Hanger, not really realizing he had a Assault Core in hand. Although, at the end of the day, you get too much advantage off a Union Hanger, so I kind of have to. And I have infinite impermanence, too, for anything else. Also, the other big part of this, really the main reason why I negated that was, if this is at 4,000 attack, he does not have an out to this board. He just doesn't, because this can't target. He would have to link climb, but link climbing doesn't happen with Dragoon because it pops cards every single turn, and obviously still has the ability to attack. He's going to get over this Predator Plant Burn Anaconda, that's fine. At the start of the main phase, I'm just going to go ahead and go into my own ABC Dragon Buster. I'm going to negate the effects of that. He's going to go ahead and try to do that. It's all semantics at this point. I had enough burn damage anyways, but yeah, sure. This was just style, I suppose. And that was the end of the game. Dragoon shines once again. Maybe this deck is better than I think it is. No, it's pretty decent, but the only problem is, like, you're constantly discarding cards, getting rid of your advantage versus Dragoon or DPE, which doesn't get rid of any of your advantage and also gains you advantage by drawing 2 cards. This is AVC Eldritch. I don't know what's up with all that. But he only has one last piece in hand to get to, so that means I'm just going to negate this, Platinum Gadget, just save myself a turn. He does have an Imperm, a Scarlet, so we'll see what happens. So he only really has one form of interruption. We'll see how that works out. I'm going to normal summon there. I was hoping he would Imperm that specifically, but alright. I will go ahead and start discarding some cards. And I wanted to go full combo here, and I guess he did. He waited a really long time to do anything. Like, he actually waited too long. So he's going to try to, like, negate this. It was like, dude, like, it's a little too late, don't you think, to activate Imperm? So this is going to Dragoon. Dragoon's going to go ahead and burn the Eldritch. And I'm going to go to the battle phase. He's going to activate, White Destiny. I'll go to the main phase too. I didn't attack because I'd rather just burn him again. Because otherwise the only option I would have had was to attack over him. So it's like, yeah. This card doesn't necessarily do anything at all. He's going to banish that to get a Hakero. That doesn't really do anything at all either. Maybe prevents me from going to ABC stuff, but alright. Here's a 600 billion thousand IQ play. I got to go back. Alright, so here's the situation I find myself in. Sorry that the game is like spazzing out. All right. So he's going to activate, or he's going to normal summon a Assault Core. So I know ABC Dragon Buster is coming. So I have a very interesting scenario that I find myself in. Because if he goes into ABC Dragon Buster, he can simply just attack over the Infinity. So I'm in a crummy situation. Why he doesn't go into ABC Dragon Buster right now, I will never know. It was his downfall, because he's going to activate Eldritch. I'm going to negate with Infinity, and then I'm going to respond with my own. I'm going to negate my own Infinity, because now I'm in a situation where his ABC Dragon Buster doesn't do anything to me, and this gets boosted to 4,000 attack, so Eldritch can't even get over it. So yes, I negated and destroyed my own Omni Negate to, break his board. Like, that is insane. Insanely cool. Because now it's just like, all right, you can get over the Predaplant Verde and the Conda, but what are you going to do now? So I thought that was pretty neat. Pretty neat play. Big brain time. You can negate the Union Hanger. It's not doing anything at all at this point. So that's pretty cool. And he only has 3,000 life points left, so I can actually just play now. Sorry. I'm going to use the effect of Dragoon. He's going to activate Scarlet, which, no matter what happens, it's the end of the duel. So, I'm just going to pop probably the Eldritch, and then I'm just going to pop one more card. Don't even have to go to the battle phase. He's going to activate Conquistador like cool beans. There's nothing, it can't be targeted, or it can't be destroyed. So, I don't think this destroys or targets, but it does destroy. Can't destroy Dragoon. This is like a plain ABC deck, and it's like, bruh. You can't be playing Torque Tune Gear. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe for some synchro plays, but I can't imagine it's worth it. I really can't. And they're all light machines, like I talked about, when it comes to a mirror match, quote unquote, with ABCs. This is sick. Again, I opened up Cyber Repair Plant plus, Cyber Dragon. So when you do that, the duel is over. The duel is simply over. This is really super duper unfortunate. He's got the Imperm there, and then I think I try to activate Predaplant Verde and Anaconda, and he negates that as well. Ugh. I have plenty of follow-up play, so I'm going to go ahead and attack, and then I'm probably going to turn all of these just into an Appaloosa, which more than likely will be well more than enough. He's going to set the Torque Tune Gear. He's going to set the Dimensional Barrier. He's like, can't go into, ABC Dragon Buster. It's like, oh no, this is terrible, JK. Because I could just XYZ summon. So, if someone scythes you, different story. You can't beat Scythe. You got to go into the extra deck in ABC Cyber Dragon. But only one category probably isn't doing it. Here's that other game in the match I had against ABC Eldritch, I should say. A very bizarre hand, no doubt, but the top deck of the core pretty much saves it. As long as I'm pretty sure I'm getting this off the board, and, when that happens, my Triple Tactical Talents is online. He's going to Imperm there, which I really just wasn't expecting. I'm going to turn those into a Predaplant Verde and Anaconda. I'm going to Ash his, Scarlet. He's going to go for the Torrential Tribute, meaning he's going to activate the effect of this. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 2 cards and see what I can get into. It's an Ash and an Imperm, which actually, or I already have the Imperm, but I do have the Ash, which could end up, making a big difference. Who knows? The core can go ahead and banish itself from the graveyard to special summon something like a Hertz. Hertz can become a level 5. That's not too important. I'm going to equip from the deck a C. I can go ahead and go into the Chimera Tech Fortress. I can activate Cyber Repair Plant to give myself a Nashter, just so I can discard that to the graveyard, bringing back the Union Driver, because I'm only going to go into Machine Monsters for the rest of this turn, of course, because, I can go ahead and banish there, and I'm not going to attack because I don't want him to get advantage, and it's a pretty decent choice, I feel like. And I did, banish one of his pieces, so he can't go into Dragon Buster. He's going to normal summon the A Assault Core, attempt to go into the Light Charmer, all right. I'm going to go ahead and tag these 3 out, put those in all the zones, which could turn into like a Nightmare Unicorn. I'll equip from the deck so that I simply don't draw it, because knowing my luck, I definitely would. And then I can just go ahead and make that into a unicorn. I can, give myself a piece back so that I can normal summon and go into access code talker. That's a really important interaction. I guess I didn't need to in this time, but most of the time that's kind of what you're going to do. I'm going to pop that. I'm going to go into ABC Dragon Buster, which is well more than enough for lethal. And then last duel, of course, is just going to be Zephyra. Scrap Raptor. That's very strange. He doesn't have any hand traps, so the triple tactical talents isn't doing anything, which kind of sucks, but no big deal. I do have the Droll and Lockbird plus 2 Omni Negates are coming down, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be enough to win against most decks. Maybe not like top tier meta. Although Droll and Lockbird against Leerless Tri-Brigade is pretty good. Sword Soul, I don't know. Different story. The only thing it's good for is that they'd have to hard draw the Ewan or the Blackout, because if you activate Droll on like their first emergence or something, and yeah, he had Lava Golem, bruh. I don't even think he opened. I think he top decked it, but I did have the Droll, so all I have to do is go into Overload Fusion. I can dump a couple pieces, and that's the game. So even through this, which is really gross and annoying, I still won that duel. But yeah, that was a longer look than I thought at ABC with Red Eyes Dragoon. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.